Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with some mostly sunny conditions out there this morning, seeing those temperatures rising into the upper 40s at this time, and winds still slightly breezy out of the north, and expecting that to continue with those winds continuing slightly breezy out of the northeast as we move through the afternoon, and overall dry and fairly quiet weather as we move through the day today. We will see a return of rain chances as we get later in the day tomorrow and into the evening time frame. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have high pressure centered well to the north and kind of building down over the local region, and that semi-tight pressure gradient over the local region is going to keep those slightly breezy conditions around as we move through the day today, with that onshore component developing as we get into the afternoon time. And that system well off to the west will be approaching the region as we move into the day tomorrow, with much of that rain likely holding off till close of business tomorrow and thereafter, with the bulk of the activity happening in the evening time frame and overnight window. But take a look at the upper level winds from this morning. Sounding have northeasterly winds through much of the column, becoming more northerly as we get up in the higher levels here, seeing our peak wind today of 41 knots at 25,000 feet and our freezing levels at 11,000 feet. We look at our current visible satellite, we can see just some high clouds streaming in from the west, and we have some coastal clouds just off the coast around 3,000 feet. Overall, expecting increasing clouds as we gradually move through the day and into the evening, with the increase in the high clouds. In addition, as those winds turn more onshore, could see some of this coastal cloud layer build into coastal areas on the peninsula, possibly seeing a ceiling develop, but that will happen more so as we move through the overnight as the winds become more easterly during the overnight, early morning tomorrow time frame. If we look at the short-term high-resolution model, we'll see model indicating some of that coastal cloud layer moving inland as we get into the afternoon, and then the high clouds continue to build in, eventually becoming mostly cloudy to possibly overcast as we move through the overnight time frame. But again, slightly breezy, dry conditions prevail. And then moving into our day on Thursday, we'll continue to see dry conditions and mostly cloudy to overcast conditions through the daytime as that system starts to approach here. We'll see a lot of the rain looks to hold off till late in the day, more so after the close of business time. Can't rule out maybe a shower late in the afternoon or towards the 4 to 5 o'clock time, but it looks like a bulk of it will be moving through as we move into the evening time frame and through the overnight here as this starts to push through. We'll see a weak area of low pressure develop to our south that's going to help enhance the winds with this, so we'll see some slightly breezy to breezy conditions early Friday morning, and then that area of low pressure starts to pull away as we get into Friday morning. As we can see here zoomed out on the European model, that low pressure tracks away from the area, pulling with it much of the rainfall. Should see that wrapping up prior to the start of the day on Friday, possibly a lingering shower around the area. But we will see some slightly breezy to breezy conditions through the day on Friday as that area of low pressure kind of enhances the northerly flow here. That continues into Saturday, but we see prevailing dry conditions through the weekend as high pressure slowly builds back in over the region to end the weekend. So we continue to see dry, and we'll see slightly above average temperatures through the weekend and into the beginning of next week. For our Monday, we'll have this upper level trough kind of tracking well north of the local area, but it will bring a boundary through the local area at this time. Looks like that will be a dry boundary. We'll just see maybe some slightly cooler air and additional cloud cover, maybe a brief spin up of some winds as we move through Monday and into the day on Tuesday. But overall, things looking dry, at least as we get through Tuesday and into possibly Wednesday as well. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we're seeing green conditions over the next 24 hours, not expecting any significant weather risk at this time. Looking at a high of 53 today, we'll see those winds picking up out of the northeast, 7 to 12 knots, gusting up to 17 knots. And then we'll see those winds weakening slightly and less gusty as we move into the evening time frame. We'll also see those increasing clouds. Again, a chance of seeing a ceiling develop around 3,000 feet today with that coastal layer if it does decide to push in. Otherwise, we'll have a better chance of seeing that as we move through the overnight and into the early morning hours of Thursday. With that cloud cover and that slight breeze out of the northeast, it will allow temperatures to cool down just to around 43 degrees, so a bit above average for this time of year, and we'll stay in the mid-40s as we get into the start of the day on Thursday. Tides are running normal at this time. We'll see those likely tick up a bit as we see some onshore flow over the coming days. Thursday, we'll see mostly cloudy, overcast conditions, and the breeze will pick up later in the day, as well as that rain chance during the late afternoon and evening time frame. Again, looking like it's going to likely be after the close of business on Thursday. Can't rule out a slight chance of maybe a shower prior to, but looking at orange risk for that precip threat. Otherwise, seasonable high of 57 degrees. Orange risk continues into Thursday evening with that continued good chance of rain showers around the area. We'll also see a slightly breezy onshore flow through the evening as well. With that weak area of low pressure developing to the south, we'll continue cloudy, and we'll see a chance for some reduced ceilings and visibilities through that time frame. And then getting into Friday, we're looking at green conditions for precip at this time, expecting cloudy and a very slight chance of a lingering shower to start today, and then we'll see those clouds decreasing, becoming mostly and then eventually partly cloudy as we gradually move through today. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions through today as well. So we do have that yellow risk for those winds that are above 25 knots. In general, things looking like we'll stay below that, but a slight chance we do see some peak winds above that. And we'll see a high of 57 degrees once again for our Friday. Looking at the extended forecast here, we'll see partly cloudy to mostly sunny conditions for Saturday and Sunday. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions possibly lingering around for Saturday, and some slightly warmer conditions with temperatures above average in the low 60s for our highs Saturday and Sunday, and our low temperatures in the low to possibly mid 40s for the weekend. As we get into the start of next week, increased clouds on Monday as that front pushes through the area, but things look to remain dry. And ahead of that front, we'll see some mild conditions with a high up around 68 degrees. And then behind that, we'll see things cooling back down, but still staying above average with partly cloudy conditions for Tuesday with a high of 64 degrees. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.